How would you like a 400 horsepower 7-seater Subaru? This is not a very common model. It's called Exiga. A lot of markets, I assume, don't get these. Being in New Zealand, we do get a lot of Japanese imports. So this is one of the Japanese domestic market vehicles that's come to New Zealand, and it shares a lot of parts with the Legacy. Overall, it is very similar, and it does allow us to fit a lot of performance parts to it, while still being very unique and something you won't see a second time on the road. So from the outside we have some factory version 11 STI wheels. We've performed a stud conversion to make these fit. We've also taken a set of Brembo brakes from the same vehicle, and we've installed some Cusco coilovers to lower the ride height, stiffen it up, and finally some white line sway bars front and back to get that handling even better. This is a heavier car. It is sitting quite high up from the factory, so all those handling modifications really make a difference if you want to have this car go fast around the corners. So makes a huge difference on how the vehicle feels and then also stops. We've already talked about the suspension and braking upgrades, and now let's get into the performance side of things. So this car has a lot of bolt-on upgrades, and to support all that extra power we have built a PBMS forged engine as a solid foundation. The engine is a EJ20, so we're starting with a 2-litre. It is a bit of an oddball engine, being single AVCS, so the legacies out of this generation are dual AVCS, so it is a little bit unusual, but for the most part the construction of the engine is comparable to a legacy. On the bottom end we have installed forged Con-rods and forged pistons, performed oil gallery modification and our PBMS closed deck insert. We've got ARP head studs, and the cylinder heads have also been modified. We have ported, this is CNC ported cylinder heads, and the exhaust valves are very small from the factory, so we have gone for some 1mm oversized valves to improve the overall flow of the cylinder head, which is a lot, I guess, a lot worse than comparable STI models, just more of an econo spec engine. We've also given everything a refresh, so the block, the heads and all the aluminium parts are all vapor blast, and all the hardware has been plated, so it looks like a brand new engine again. So the bolt-on upgrades on this car, starting on the intake side, we've got a 3-inch Process West intake, combined with a Perrin turbo inlet pipe that feeds the Blouch TD05 turbo, which has been installed here. On this car we've chosen the 7cm exhaust housing, as we are limited by the transmission in here anyway, and we can't go for huge power numbers. On the exhaust side we have a 3-inch downpipe going into a 3-inch catback system, which is an Invidia Q300 of the BM legacy. The fuel system has been upgraded with Raceworks 265 liter per hour pump in the tank, and up front we've got a fuel pressure regulator from Turbosmart. We've also got Radium fuel rails and ID1050X injectors. TGVs have been upgraded with the IAG TGV Deletes, so that's all going straight through into the engine. And for the oiling system, we've got a PBMS baffle sump and an IAG air oil separator. We've also fitted a Grimspeed 3-port boost solenoid, which is just an easy plug-and-play solution and gives us much better control of the boost. Yeah, finally it's got our PBMS tune package, so fully custom tune on our in-house dyno. Based on our experience, similar cars have made around 140 kilowatt to the wheels in factory form. And now after the full package and tune, we ended up with 241 kilowatt on the wheels, so around 323 horsepower. So that gives us approximately 400 horsepower on the engine itself. This car is limited by the automatic transmission that we've got fitted. That is also why we have only ramped up the boost towards the top end. So we're starting at 16 psi and then going up to 20 psi on the top end. The whole setup is capable of handling quite a bit more. So, and with a manual, we could both have the power earlier plus actually get a higher overall power figure. So to protect that transmission, we've only ended up with the 241, which we did. So overall, this normally a very standard vehicle that is used to do everyday tasks like picking up the groceries is now developed into a very unique, fun car that looks the part and is a lot more sporty. It's made a huge jump towards being more like an STI equivalent, and now can be enjoyed a lot on the back roads and maybe leave a few cars behind while doing it. We think this is a very cool car and something that it stands out on the road, something you won't see modified to this degree around every corner. So it's a very cool build, and thanks again Chris for choosing Possum Motorsport. Thanks again everyone for watching our video, and please like and subscribe to our channel, follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and we'd like to see you again in the next video.